Coming up tonight on News Watch, a local city adds restrictions to save water. We'll explain why in just a moment.
Also, tax season is here. We'll show you how and where you can get help. Emily?
We've been experiencing spring-like weather these past few days, but this is likely what we call a false spring. I'll have the details on how long this false spring will last coming up. This is News Watch, and your Thursday evening's edition starts now.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection, commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.
Ongoing drought conditions are leading to new steps in one community. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Matthew Posner.
And I'm Andrew Spade. The city of Sullivan is officially declaring a water emergency after drought conditions caused a sharp drop in local water supply. City leaders say the water table has fallen nearly 15 feet in recent months, prompting emergency restrictions to protect drinking water and public safety. Effective immediately through March, residents are prohibited from turf irrigation, filling swimming pools, and washing personal vehicles. They say violators could face up to $750 per offense. The Illinois Environmental Protection Agency is offering $7 million in grant funding for wastewater facilities. This money from the Resilient Energy for Wastewater Infrastructure Grant Program will be used to strengthen energy resilience at publicly owned wastewater treatment plants. Through the program, communities can receive funding to determine energy vulnerabilities and add solar energy systems. Individual awards will range from $200,000 to $2 million. The application period will close April 30th.
A recreation area at Lake Shelbyville is closing for maintenance next week. The Army Corps of Engineers says the Bowood Recreation Area will close Tuesday through Friday as teams complete required maintenance around the park. They say that closure includes the entire area, including the entrance road, dog park, and boat ramp. Officials say that applies to both vehicles and pedestrians.
High temperatures were in the upper 40s today, so it was another nice spring-like day outside. A high temperature of 46 degrees here in Charleston, and we saw mostly cloudy skies covering most of the viewing area throughout the daytime today. Mostly cloudy skies covering Eastern's campus earlier today. This photo behind me was taken around 2 p.m. But as we move overnight tonight, we're going to see those clouds beginning to clear. Partly cloudy skies as we move throughout the nighttime, with a low temperature getting down into the 30s as we move overnight tonight. A low temperature of 31 degrees, so just below that freezing mark, but winds will be blowing out of the south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Relatively calm as we move overnight tonight, but moving into tomorrow, those clouds are going to continue to clear. Mostly clear skies for the majority of the daytime tomorrow, so it'll be a sunny day and it will be a warm day tomorrow with a high temperature in the 50s, a high temperature of 51 degrees tomorrow, so your Friday will be sunny and warm. That's a first look at your Skywatch forecast. Now back to the desk.
Thank you, Emily. Champaign fire authorities are investigating a fire in a vacant home earlier today. The fire department says just after 2 this morning, firefighters responded to a report of a fire in a 2-story home in the 200 block of East Washington Street. Once on the scene, the crews found heavy fire coming from a 2nd-story window and quickly extinguished the fire using multiple hose lines. The cause has not been determined and no firefighter injuries have been reported. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul is suing the Trump administration over cuts to federal public health grants. The suit filed Wednesday claims the White House unlawfully cut more than $100 million in Center for Disease Control grants to Illinois. Raul's office says the grant will impact Illinois programs to track disease outbreaks, prevent lead poisoning, and make data-driven decisions on how to allocate public health resources. He says President Trump is targeting states for political reasons, and the cuts will result in hundreds of layoffs to public health professionals. Over $600 million in CDC grants were cut Monday by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Several Illinois programs are offering free income tax preparation. The IRS, AARP's Foundation Tax Aid Program, the Ladder Up Tax Assistance Program, and the Get Your Refund Program all provide free basic income tax return prep. That's for those who file electronically in select locations statewide. You can learn more about free tax help by visiting the website on your screen.
With farmers across Illinois facing mounting pressures, U of I Extension is reminding them they are not alone. The Extension Office says there are several mental health resources available to local farmers. The Illinois Agricultural Mental Health Voucher Program connects producers and their families with local mental health professionals for free. You can apply for a voucher online and discover more mental health resources at go.illinois.edu/farm-stress-health. The United States is celebrating its 250th anniversary this year, and the state of Illinois is launching special plans for the occasion. This week, the Illinois America 250 Commission announced Passport Illinois. That's a keepsake passport featuring 56 historic sites, museums, and monuments around the state. Stops on the passport include the old state capitol in Springfield, the Museum of the Grand Prairie in Mahomet, and Cahokia Mound State Historic Site near St. Louis. Passports are free and they're available at public libraries, highway visitor centers, and other locations around Illinois. You can find those locations through the Illinois America 250 website. Big news for parents and providers as early childhood efforts just got a boost from a statewide initiative. The Coles County Child Care Collaboration has been awarded a $12,500 planning grant from Birth to 5 Illinois. Birth to 5 Illinois is a statewide effort to strengthen local early childhood systems, and it's now directed nearly $12 million to communities across the state through grants and subcontracts for programs, screenings, and outreach. The money is expected to help expand local early childhood support and coordinate services for families with young children. Local leaders say this planning grant will help jumpstart strategies to address child care gaps and build a stronger support network for families in Coles County and beyond.
You can help Arcola improve some of its pollinator hotspots. The Arcola Public Library is looking for volunteers to help improve their green spaces this spring. The new gardens will create butterfly-friendly habitats while also supporting beautification, tourism, education, and science. The planned improvements are a joint effort of the library, City of Arcola, and the Urban Butterfly Initiative. If you got a green thumb, you can contact the Arcola Public Library to get involved. Well, we're starting to see a lot more green here in East Central Illinois with all the snow melting.
That's right, Andrew, but how long will this warmth stay with us, Emily?
This warmth is expected to stay with us until mid next week, but is bitterly cold temperatures right around the corner? I'll have the answer coming up.
A family in Southern California is okay after a terrifying moment was captured showing large waves tossing and capsizing their boat. The Santa Cruz Fire Department shared the video saying the boat was loaded with 2 adults and 4 children when the waves struck the craft. KSBW reports surfers in the water immediately came to the rescue, using their boards to get the family members to safety. The victims reportedly suffered only minor cuts and bruises from the incident. Officials say it could have ended worse, but also that it may have been avoided, saying the family was reportedly warned ahead of time not to go out on the water amid dangerous conditions. Well, in case you missed it, a plane in Georgia missed its intended destination when engine problems forced the pilot to land their craft on a busy Gainesville roadway instead. The small plane struck and damaged several vehicles upon landing, but thankfully only minor injuries were reported. The FAA is now sorting out exactly what led to the trafficky touchdown. Finally, speaking of roadways and safety and stuff hitting other stuff, take a look at why it's so important to properly secure cargo when driving. Video shows what appeared to be loose luggage struck by a van on a Utah highway. No one was hurt, but I can't say the same for the van, which did sustain some damage. Utah Highway Patrol troopers dragged the debris to the shoulder and later posted to socials saying, "Tie it down, tarp it over, and double check your cargo. Events like this one are 100% preventable." For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
It was a little bit cooler today in Illinois, but as we look over the Great Plains, we see more warmer weather making its way eastwards towards the Midwest. That's going to show itself as we make our way to the weekend. We're going to be seeing warmer temperatures, but for today, we saw high temperatures in the upper 40s, a high temperature of 46 degrees here in Charleston. We did get up to 48 over in Taylorville, but we saw mostly cloudy skies throughout the majority of the daytime today. Mostly cloudy skies across Eastern's campus here in the background earlier today in the afternoon. But as we look at our current conditions, we're still seeing mostly cloudy skies in many parts of our viewing area. Temperatures are beginning to drop down into the low 40s, even the 30s in parts of our area. But those mostly cloudy skies are going to begin to clear up as we move overnight tonight. But we're going to be left with partly cloudy skies as those clouds thin out throughout the nighttime. And low temperatures are going to be in the 30s, with temperatures dropping down to a low of 31 degrees. We are going to be seeing winds blowing out of the south, calm as we move overnight tonight, but the real story is going to be these clouds clearing up as we move throughout the nighttime into tomorrow morning. We'll be left with some partly cloudy skies to start off our daytime tomorrow, but as we move throughout the daytime tomorrow, those clouds will continue to clear, and we're going to see that sun come back out, and we're going to be seeing sunny skies throughout the entire daytime tomorrow. And along with that, we're going to be seeing warmer temperatures, a high temperature in the 50s tomorrow, with a high temperature of 51 degrees with sunny skies. So be sure to get out there and enjoy this on your Friday, because we might be seeing some colder temperatures in our future, but not for a while, because we are going to be seeing a warm up as we move into early next work week. We're going to be seeing the clearing of those clouds throughout the daytime tomorrow. Nothing but sunny skies throughout the daytime, but you'll notice here off to the west, some clouds making an appearance, eventually going to be affecting our viewing area as we move into our Saturday. And that's going to lead to mostly cloudy skies on Saturday, and the possibility of rain Saturday night. This won't be any heavy rainfall, but the possibility is still there as we move overnight Saturday into Sunday. We will drop down a little bit on Saturday as well, with a high temperature of 46 degrees, but then we're going to warm up once again as we finish off the weekend. A high temperature back in the 50s with a high temperature of 54 degrees under partly cloudy skies. And as we start next work week, we're going to warm up even further with a high temperature of 59 degrees on Monday under mostly clear skies. So next work week is going to be beautiful as we start that week. And the reason why we're seeing this is because of our upper level jet stream. You can see here on Saturday, we are under a ridge of warmer air that's causing warm air to move into our viewing area and warm up our temperatures. But as we move into Sunday, that ridge will stay over top of us. But you'll notice down here, there's a slight cutoff low that is moving right below us. That's causing that rainfall that we're seeing from Saturday into Sunday, but that once again, that will be overnight. Now we're going to be seeing temperatures warm up, and we're going to be above average for the next 6 to 10 days. That average for this time of year is typically in the low 40s for February, and looking forward, we're certainly going to be above that. We're going to see a high temperature in the 50s tomorrow, slight drop down for Valentine's Day with a high temperature of 46 degrees, and then we're going to start to warm up again on Sunday with a high temperature of 54, eventually reaching the upper 50s by next work week with a high temperature of 59, and the 60s by mid next week with a high temperature of 61 degrees on Tuesday and 63 degrees next Wednesday. So we're really going to see temperatures start to feel more like spring.
Yeah, I know we were both saying it. We're ready to bring back out the shorts.
I'm always ready to bring out the shorts. I don't need much excuse, and now this forecast makes it a lot easier. Thanks, Emily. Coming up tonight in sports, the biggest names in golf head to California for the first signature event of the PGA Tour season. We'll have a live update momentarily.
But first, the Chicago Bulls take on a familiar face in Boston. I'll have your full Sports Watch report coming up next.
Valentine's Day is all about celebrating love, but for some, the holiday becomes an opportunity for something much darker: romance scams. It's a special type of con that leaves victims with a broken heart and a drained bank account.
You create this trusting bond with this person, and once that they know that you trust them, they're going to start asking you for money.
Amy Knopfsinger with AARP works directly with people who have been victim to these types of scams. AARP says adults aged 50 to 64 are especially at risk of being targeted, and the FBI says it's because seniors tend to be more trusting and polite.
The loss of the hopes and the dreams that this criminal crafted for them is even more devastating.
These types of cons have skyrocketed in recent years. In 2020, financial losses from reported romance scams were $600 million. But in 2024, those losses jumped to $2.4 billion, according to the Federal Trade Commission. Knopfsinger says she worries those numbers are likely even higher because so many people don't report that they've been a victim.
They feel shame that they had this person, be so emotionally tied to them. They want to keep the victims silent.
Here's how to spot the red flags. The FBI says to be cautious if a person you're talking to on a dating app or social media site wants to quickly leave the dating app to communicate directly, or if the person makes excuses to not meet in person. And never send money to someone you have only communicated with online or by phone. If you do think you or a loved one has been a victim, you're urged to report it to the Internet Crime Complaint Center. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
The IHSA Baseball State Finals are moving locations for the first time in 15 years. Since 2011, the IHSA Class 1A and 2A State Finals have been hosted at Dozier Park in Peoria, but now they're headed to Champaign. Illinois Field, host of Fighting Illini Baseball, will now hold Class 1A and 2A State Finals in 2026 and beyond. The site stepped up last season and ended up hosting the finals due to a scheduling conflict, but now Illinois Field will be the new home of the games through 2030. Keeping things on the mound, Eastern Illinois softball is back in action, looking to bounce back as they take on Southeastern Louisiana. The Panthers finished 2-3 in their opening tournament in Statesboro, Georgia. Southeastern Louisiana is nationally ranked after stunning Oregon last week, with the Lions sitting right at number 25. The game is set to begin at 8. As for Eastern Illinois baseball, the Panthers hope to start their season off with a win as they take on Florida A&M tomorrow. The Panthers will kick off their 2026 season campaign with a 4-game series against the Rattlers. Eastern enters this season after winning 31 games in the OVC regular season title last season. EIU also returns 26 players from last year's roster, 2 All-OVC players, Tyler Conklin and Mike O'Connor. The first game of the series begins tomorrow at 3 in Tallahassee. EIU basketball is back in action this weekend, and both teams are in desperate need of a win. The Panthers men's team is coming off a horrendous loss to Western Illinois, but is facing a Little Rock squad who holds a 6-game losing streak. This will be the final time Eastern will play the Trojans in the regular season as an OVC opponent. Tip-off for the men's game is set for 3:30 at Groninger Arena. As for the Eastern women's team, they sit at the bottom of the pack in the OVC with a 4-22 record and a 3-12 mark in conference play. Tip-off for the women's game is just before the men's game at 1 on Saturday. This weekend is also the annual CARE Game, which supports local cancer fighters at the Sarah Bush Lincoln Regional Cancer Center. So far, EIU has raised over $95,000 since 2018, and this year they hope to hit that $100,000 mark. Eastern also encourages people to donate by purchasing a shirt or making a donation online. At the NBA trade deadline, the Bulls shocked everyone by trading longtime center Nikola Vucevic to the Boston Celtics. Just over a week later, Vuce returns to take on Chicago. Patrick Williams proves he's got some range after draining this 3-ball from way downtown, giving the Bulls an early lead. However, that doesn't last. Former college standout Jordan Walsh picks Anthony Simon's pocket and parachutes in for the strong 2-hand slam. And now the Celtics lead by double digits. Is this Boston or the Harlem Globetrotters? Look at this ball movement. The Bulls' defense is more lost than a kid at Six Flags, and Vucevic says hello to his former teammates by burying a triple in their faces. In the third quarter, Neemias Queta takes flight, soaring over Chicago, and for a powerful dunk and the exclamation point. The Celtics cruise to an easy win, beating the Bulls 124-105. With so many key players out for the Indiana Pacers, several of the organization's young players are getting an opportunity to prove themselves as they take on an equally struggling Brooklyn Nets squad. Fan favorite Jay Huff keeps doing what he does best, throwing down a ridiculous backward slam to shock the fans and the players. But the best dunk of all the NBA last night belongs to Quentin Jackson, who flies in like Superman and puts Igor Damon on a poster. Like FedEx, this game just keeps delivering. Highlights as Day'Ron Sharpe skies in for the big-time alley-oop right over Huff. The Nets lead by 11 at the half, but former first-round pick Ja'Cory Walker helps lead a major comeback charge by the Pacers, and this three-pointer puts Indy ahead by 4. Nolan Traore ties a game up with 3 minutes to go, but former Marquette star Cam Jones turns the lights out with this massive three-pointer to seal a Pacers victory. Indiana completes the comeback and takes down Brooklyn 115-110. In Milan Cortina, Team USA racks up a couple more medals with one major sport starting today. Madison Chock and Evan Bates pick up a silver medal in the ice dancing figure skating event. Jessie Diggins has won bronze at the women's 10-kilometer cross-country skiing event and has become the first American woman to place in that event. Earlier today, Team USA men's hockey team began its Olympic run, facing off against Latvia and winning their opening match 5-1. Up next for Team USA, they'll be playing against Denmark on Saturday. Finally tonight, PGA Tour's first signature event of the season has arrived, and the world's best are all in action at the opening round of the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Ryo Hisatsune continues his torrid start to the 2026 carding a 10 under 62 at Pebble Beach. And for the second straight week, he's in the lead. Five-time PGA Tour winner Sam Burns shined as well, finishing 9 under after 18 holes to sit alone in second behind Hisatsune. He's not ranked number 1, but the best player in the world may be Chris Gotterup. The former Oklahoma Sooner has won 2 of the first 4 events already this season, and he's currently in a tie for third at 8 under alongside Ryder Cup captain Keegan Bradley, Tony Finau, and Patrick Rogers. In his season debut, world number 2 and defending Masters champion Rory McIlroy cards a 4 under 68 at the more difficult Spyglass Hill. And finally, world number 1 Scottie Scheffler struggles again in round 1. He's currently even par and is well off the lead. That's all for sports. Back to you, Matthew.
Wow, Hisatsune just keeps balling. Thanks, Andrew. Coming up, Emily Davis has a final look at a much warmer Skywatch forecast. But first, this new way to enjoy books has become all the craze in one California city. Thanks for watching. This is Newswatch on WEIU.
Super Bowl 60 wasn't the only big game to put up big numbers on Sunday. The 22nd annual Puppy Bowl scored as well, drawing 15.3 million viewers on Animal Planet and its sister stations. That's the adoption-centered program's highest ratings in 8 years and a 20% increase over 2025. On the field, Team Fluff were the top dogs, beating Team Rough 73-69. Soul Power, the legend of the American Basketball Association, looks at the 1960s and 70s pro league that gave its rival NBA such innovations as the slam dunk contest and the three-point shot, and such stars as Julius Dr. J. Irving. The documentary premieres today on Prime Video. Slammin' and jammin' in Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Finally tonight, audiobooks are growing in popularity, and usually listening is a solo activity. However, one unique book club in California has found a way to enjoy them together. One Sunday a month, this club gathers at Redondo Beach to walk together while each member listens to their own audiobook. Members say they enjoy social time together before and after the walk. They also say it's a chance to enjoy their favorite books while getting in some fresh air and exercise. The local library says checkouts of audiobooks have more than doubled in the past 5 years. Back at home, Emily Davis joins us with her read on the weekend forecast.
Well, it's going to be a warmer day as we move into our Friday with a high temperature of 51 degrees, and it's going to be a sunny one at that. We're going to see those clouds beginning to clear as we move into tomorrow. Clear, sunny skies for your Friday, and we're going to see warmer temperatures as well, and that's going to continue as we move forward. Temperatures will drop down as we move into Saturday with a high of 46 degrees for your Valentine's Day, and we'll see some rain overnight Saturday night into Sunday, and that's why we're seeing those temperatures cool down into the 40s. But moving into Sunday, we're going to see temperatures warm back up into the 50s, a high temperature of 54 degrees on Sunday, before warming up even further as we start next work week with a high temperature of 59 degrees on Monday. We're going to eventually reach the 60s as we make it to Tuesday with a high temperature of 61 degrees, but those temperatures are not going to stop rising from there, with a high temperature of 63 degrees around midweek next week. We will, however, start to see temperatures drop off as we move into Thursday, a high temperature of 50 degrees on Thursday, but we may start to see temperatures cool off as we finish off next work week. So get out there and enjoy those warmer temperatures while you can.
Yeah, I mean, I hope the temperatures are here to stay. I hope it's not a fake spring that we're seeing right now.
I think that there's so much that you could say now about the temperatures in February. I feel like last year you saw temperature in the 20s, now in the 60s. It's become the month that has the most variety.
Yeah.
So enjoy the warmth while it's here. Thanks,
Exactly.
Emily. That's all the time we have tonight for Newswatch. For more news and weather, be sure to log on to our website at weiu.net.
And if news is happening in your community, let us know by dropping us an email at news@weiu.net.
Newswatch is off tomorrow to commemorate Lincoln's birthday. Have a great weekend and see you Monday at 5:30 for another edition of Newswatch.
The Charleston House proudly supports Newswatch. Now welcoming guests on Charleston's historic 6th Street, the Charleston House Bed and Breakfast Inn offers refined accommodations in a beautifully restored bed and breakfast. For booking information, visit craigcollection.com or call the number on screen.
TCI Realty, Charleston area's real estate connection. Commercial, land and farm, and residential real estate. Experienced realtors with an up-to-date website at tcirealty.net. TCI Realty supports the students of WEIU Newswatch.
Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon. Whatever the occasion, it's an environment for an evening of dining, conversation, and cocktails. Whatever your needs, our staff is ready. Alamo Steakhouse and Saloon, located at the Cross County Mall, Mattoon.